Hello. Today we will start with the next questions from 11 to 25. So let us all start. Question number 11. So it goes like that the image seen in a plane mirror cannot be formed on a screen. So what name is given to this type of image? We all know that whenever image cannot be formed on a screen, it is always virtual and erect image. So any that image which cannot be obtained on a screen is called as a virtual image. Fill in the following question number 12. Fill in the following blank with a suitable word. When light is reflected, the angle of incidence and reflection are equal. So according to the first law of reflection, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Question number 13. State whether the following statement is true or false. A student says that we can see object because light from our eyes is reflected back by the object. So this is false because light from our eyes is not reflected back by the object, but it is the reflected light from the object that enters into our eyes. So this is wrong statement. Then question number 14. Where is the image when you look at something in the mirror? So when we dress up or when we are standing in front of a mirror, where is the image when we look into the mirror? It is behind the mirror. So the image at that time is behind the mirror. 15th question. A ray of light strikes a plane mirror. So suppose this is a plane mirror and a ray of light is striking the plane mirror such that the angle of incidence is 30 degree. So this is the point of incidence, and the point of incidence we always make a normal because yesterday only we have done that. Angle is always made with the normal. So this is the angle of incidence, and according to the law of reflection, first law, angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. So this is also 30 degree angle of reflection, right? Now what angle does the reflected ray make with the mirror surface? So here they are not asking that what is the angle of reflection, they are asking that what angle is made by the reflected ray with the mirror surface. So we have to actually find out this angle x, and this is 90 degree. So 90 minus 30, what is the angle that it will make with the plane of the mirror? It is 60 degrees. So I guess from 11 to 15 the questions and their answers, they are clear. Now moving on to the 16th question now. 16th question says that what is the difference between a real image and a virtual image? So what is the basic difference between a real image and a virtual image? We all should know that real image is always inverted. Okay, वो उल्टी बनती है, हमें उल्टा दिखाई देगा ऑब्जेक्ट का जो इमेज होगा. But virtual image is always erect. Erect means the image will be formed as the object is kept, right? So that is the virtual and erect image, first point. Then second point about real image, that it can be obtained on a screen. Now many a times we get confused between screen and a mirror. Mirror is not a screen like anything other than the mirror, okay? And virtual cannot be obtained on a screen, so it can never be obtained on a screen. So that is the second point of difference between the erect and virtual image. Third point of difference, that one example of a real image and one example of a virtual image. Okay, so real image like when we see a picture on a cinema screen. Okay, so when we see any picture on a cinema screen, that is the example of a real image. In fact, when we get our photo, passport size photograph, we are taking a passport size photograph, so that passport size photograph is also a real image. Okay, and moving on to this point over here, virtual image. So when we see ourselves, okay, or an object placed in front of a plane mirror, so whenever an object is placed in front of a plane mirror, that is an example of a virtual image, right? So the points of difference between the real and virtual image, that real is always inverted, virtual is erect. It can be obtained on a screen, virtual can never be obtained on a screen. And for example, cinema screen or a photograph, and here a plane mirror, right? Now 17th question, according to now the 17th question, let us read the statement that there is a letter F which is placed in front of a plane mirror. Now, A part, how would its image look like when it is seen in a plane mirror? Okay, so there is this alphabet F, and now suppose this is the plane mirror. Let me just draw it once again. Okay, so this is the letter F, and now it is placed in front of a plane mirror, right? So how will it look like? So we all know that when the image is formed by the plane mirror, it gets laterally inverted, that is reversed sideways. So it will appear to be something like this. So the left of the object will appear to be the right of the image, or the right of the object will appear to be the left of the image. So that is what is laterally inverted. So F is going to look something like this. What is the name of the phenomena involved? So just now, if you paid attention, the phenomena is called lateral inversion. So what is lateral inversion? When the left of the object, okay, it appears to be the right of the image in the mirror, okay, and the right of the object, right of the object appears to be the left of the image in the mirror. That is when the image and object, they get reversed sideways. That is called as lateral inversion. Now 18th question, moving on to the statement. 18th question, the statement is, what is lateral inversion? So just now I have explained lateral inversion, that a phenomena where the object and the image, they get reversed sideways. Okay, so the object and the image, they will get reversed sideways. Now what do we mean by reversed sideways? Left of the object will appear to be the right of the image, okay, remember that, and right of the object will appear to be the left of the image in the mirror. Okay, so that is called as lateral inversion. Explain by giving a suitable example. So a very good example that we can give is of lateral inversion, an ambulance. Okay, so we all know that in an ambulance vehicle, the ambulance is written laterally inverted. It's not written like this, it is written laterally inverted. So why is that written? So whenever a driver, is driving, and an ambulance is behind the vehicle, so the person will look into, the driver will look into the rear view mirror, and in that rear view mirror, the ambulance will be seen like this, so that it is easy to read. And the ambulance is always carrying very ill patients, sick patients. So the driver can give way to the ambulance, so that the ambulance can reach the hospital well in time. Okay, so this is one example. Question number 19. So what is the statement of 19? Write the word ambulance as it appear when reflected in a plane mirror. Okay, so very important question, that how will we write ambulance in a laterally inverted manner? So let us start with that. So we will first write the alphabets involved in the spelling of ambulance. So this is ambulance. Now suppose this is a plane mirror, reflecting surface is plane. Now always remember, we have to start from this side, because its image will be formed first, and we have to reverse it sideways also. So E will be something like this, then C, then N. A is a letter I am underlining where there is no lateral inversion. Then L will be like this, U will also be just the same, B, then M is also the same, and A again the same. So now here we get to know that some of the alphabets which do not show lateral inversion. So right in front of you 3 alphabets are given. AUM, and in fact W also will not be showing lateral inversion, and moreover O will also not be showing lateral inversion. So these are some of the alphabets which do not get reversed sideways, and this is the way how ambulance is written. Now moving on to the second part, that why is it sometimes written in this way as its mirror image in front of the ambulance. So it is written like this on an ambulance vehicle. It's not written like this, it is written like this. Now why? Suppose the ambulance vehicle is behind a vehicle, there is a car and it's behind that car. So the driver who is driving the car will look onto the rear view mirror, and in the rear view mirror it will not be seen like this. No, it will be seen written as ambulance in the rear view mirror. The driver can see or read the alphabets without any confusion, can give way to the ambulance, because ambulance is always carrying seriously sick patients, so that the ambulance can reach the hospital well in time, right? So this is how it is written, and this is how it will look into the rear view mirror of the vehicle, right? Now question number 20. So let's get started, that what are the important differences between looking at a photograph of your face. So we have a photograph of our face and looking at yourself in a plane mirror. So if you know the basics clearly now, so you all will know that when we have a photograph of our face, it's actually a real image, okay? And it is the real image where the object was big in size, but the image is smaller in size, okay? So it is a real image and it has been obtained on a screen. But when we see our face on a or in a plane mirror, when we see ourselves in a plane mirror, that is a virtual image, okay? So that is a virtual image, and here the object, that is what we are, okay? We are the object. So object is equal to the size of the image. Suppose if we are like 5 feet 4 inches tall, so our image will also be 5 feet 4 inches tall, right? So that is the difference between the two kinds. First, photograph of a face is the real image, and it is the image where, you know, the object was bigger and the image is smaller, right? But when we look at ourselves in a plane mirror, it's a virtual image and the object is equal to the size of the image, right? So this is the basic difference between the two types. Then moving on to question number 21. Let us start with question number 21. A wall reflects light, okay? Yes, very nice. That wall reflects light, obviously, and a mirror also reflects light. Now, what is the difference in the way they reflect light? The difference is in their surface first. When we talk of a wall is a rough surface, something like this, okay? Like a very microscopic view of a wall. But when we have a microscopic view of a mirror is very smooth surface like this, okay? So when the incident rays of light, they fall on the surface of the wall, the incident rays of light, they are parallel to each other. But because wall is a rough surface, the particles, they are arranged in different directions. The reflected rays, they will not be going in the same direction, they will be going in the different directions. So this is scattering out over here. The reflected rays, they are not parallel, they can go in any direction. But when we talk of a mirror, okay, so when we talk of a mirror is a highly smooth surface. So the incident rays of light, they are parallel to each other, and when the light will get reflected, the reflected rays of light, they are also parallel to each other, right everybody? So that is the basic difference, and this type of reflection is called regular reflection, and this type of reflection is called diffuse or irregular reflection. And remember that we are able to see the objects because of diffuse reflection, and image is formed because of regular reflection, right? So that is the basic difference between the two, that one is showing diffuse reflection, the wall, and second one is showing regular reflection, that is the mirror. Which type of reflection leads to the formation of images? So it is the regular reflection where the image is formed, okay? Mirror can form the image but not the walls, we all know that, right? So image is formed because of regular reflection. Then question number 22. what is the difference between regular reflection and diffuse? So there is one difference, that regular reflection surface will be smooth, and incident rays, they are coming from one direction, and all the reflected rays also go into the same direction, and they are almost like parallel to each other. But when we talk of a rough surface, right, so the incident rays, like we all can see, they are parallel, but the reflected rays, they can go in any direction, right? So this is the difference. What type of reflection of light takes place on a cinema screen? Cinema screen, now we all know cinema screen, it's not smooth, it's not polished, so it is diffuse reflection. A plain mirror is very smooth and shiny, so it is regular reflection. Cardboard, it is again rough, okay, then it is diffuse reflection. And now pay attention to the word still water at still water surface of a lake. So now if there is a lake and the water surface is very still, so can we see the mountains being reflected in the water, or maybe the sky being reflected in the water, and we get a very good reflection of that, right? So in that case there will be regular reflection because the water is still, right? So but if there will be some, like air is moving over the water, or we throw a stone into water, so there will be ripples in water, the water will move, okay, and that time there will be diffuse reflection, right? So this is done, question number 22. Then question number 23, what can you see in a completely dark room? Now just imagine that you are in a completely dark room. What will be your answer to this question? That what can you see in a completely dark room? There is no light at all, so we cannot see anything, right? We need light to see the objects around us. If there is complete darkness, we cannot see any object around us, right? Because it is light which produces the sensation of vision in our eyes. So the answer to this is we cannot see anything, nothing is visible. Now if you switch on an electric bulb in this dark room, so now you switch on an electric bulb in this dark room as a light source, explain how could you now see the electric bulb. Now just imagine that we have switched on the bulb. Are we able to see the bulb? The answer is yes, we can see the bulb, but how are we able to see the bulb? Now you all need to understand that bulb is the source of light. So we are able to see the bulb because of the emitted light. Is that clear? It's not the reflected light, it is the emitted light, the light which is coming from the source itself. And now there is a white piece of paper kept in the room. So how are we able to see that white piece of paper? So just to imagine, let us say that this is the bulb, okay, and the light is emitted by this, and this is the piece of paper. So when light is emitted, piece of paper is rough, so the light is reflected. And can this light enter into the eyes of the observer? So what is this light that is coming from the paper? Is it emitted or is it reflected light? Yes. So this is reflected light. So we are able to see the white piece of paper because of reflected light. I hope that these 2 points are clear to you. Bulb is visible to us because of emitted light, and white piece of paper is visible to us because of emitted electric bulb. Sorry, the electric bulb is visible because of emitted light. It has light of its own. And the white piece of paper is visible because of the reflected light. It is not having light of its own. Bulb's light fall on the paper. Some of the light will be absorbed, and maximum of that light is like reflected, which enters into the eyes, and that is why it appears to be white in color. Okay, so this is the answer to 23rd question. Moving to 24th now. A boy with a mouth 5 centimeter wide stands 2 meter away from the plane mirror. Okay, so the mouth is 5 centimeter wide and the boy is standing 2 meter away from a plane mirror. Where is his image and how wide is the image of his mouth? So where is his image? We all know that if this is a plane mirror, okay, and the object is somewhere here, let us say it is 15 centimeter in front of the mirror. So we all know that the image will be 15 centimeter behind the mirror, right? So in this case, the boy was 2 meter away from the mirror. So where is the image? 2 meter behind the mirror, okay, behind the mirror. And how wide is the image of his mouth? So we all know that object and image, in case of a plane mirror, they are like the same size. So how wide? The width is also the same, that is 5 centimeter. The only thing that we need to understand that left of the boy will appear to be the right in the image, and the right of the boy will appear to be the left in his image, okay? So that is what we need to remember. Now the boy walks towards a mirror at a speed of 1 meter per second. At what speed does his image approach him? Now the object is moving with 1 meter per second, right? So the same speed will be for the image, and that is 1 meter per second. And just see that what is the question? At what speed the image will be seen to approach him? So 1 plus 1, it will be 2 meter per second. They both add up, right? So this is 2 meter per second, right? So question number 24 is also done. Moving on to the last question for today, that is an extended object, okay, in the form of an arrow. Extended means a full object, a big object in the form of an arrow pointing upward has been placed in front of a plane mirror. So we have an object like this, an arrow. It is placed in front of a plane mirror. Draw a label diagram to show the formation of its image. Okay, so now we need to start with this. Suppose these are the points A and B of the object, and this is the plane mirror, which is like the object is in front of this mirror M, right? So now we have the top of the mirror of the object as A, and we have the bottom of the object as B. So now let us first of all focus on the top. So suppose the ray of light falls on the mirror like this, okay? Now just imagine, is this falling normally? Is it making is it like perpendicular to this? And we all know that perpendicular is always the normal. So in such a case, the angle of incidence becomes 0. Angle of reflection will also be 0. It means it is going to retrace its path. Clear everybody? Now moving on to the second now, that suppose this is a ray of light, obliquely it is falling on the mirror. Now whenever it will fall obliquely, this is the point of incidence. At the point of incidence, we draw this normal, and we all know that with the normal, the angle will be the angle of incidence. And according to the law of reflection, when the ray will get reflected, the angle of reflection will be equal, right? Now can I say that this is the incident and the reflected ray together, and this is the reflected ray? Now both the reflected rays, they are not meeting each other. So do we need to produce them backwards? So when we are going to produce them backwards, we get the arrowhead to be somewhere here. But if you see, both these rays, they are virtual. So now the arrowhead top is virtual. We have got this, okay? Now let us move on to the, suppose this is the bottom, okay? This is the bottom. This is the ray of light from the bottom. Again it is falling normally. It will be reflected also normally. And if we just make the second incident ray of light, it will be reflected along the same path. Same sequence we have to follow. And normal, this is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of reflection. And do we see one thing again, that both the reflected rays, they will now be meeting like this, and this is the point where they will meet. And let us now make it to be something like this. So we get a virtual image because the reflected rays which were real, they are not meeting on this side. So the diagram will be something like this, right? So this is how the diagram will be done. Then state the uses of plane mirror. So first use, like whenever we dress up, okay, we see ourselves in the plane mirror. That is the first use. Second use, you might have seen in many shops or even in homes, we make use of plane mirrors so that they look big. Okay, like you might have visited malls, maybe jewelry shop, maybe some corner of the home, right? So if that room is like small, so if we want to create a bigger effect in that room, we attach a big plane mirror. Even in fact, the dancing halls where children they go and they practice dancing, so there is always a very big mirror in front. So that gives it a very big look. Okay, so that is the second use of plane mirror. And the third use is that it is used to make periscope. And just try and find out what is a periscope. Okay, you can find it out, and you have done it in your lower classes, right? So that is all for today. And I hope you understood all these questions. So now we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.